हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी। माई सेल्फ दिव्यलोचन साहू एंड हम लोग लास्ट क्लास में हाफ वेव रेक्टिफायर की ऑपरेशन के बारे में डिस्कस कर रहे थे। फिर उसके बाद हम कुछ मैथमेटिकल एनालिसिस किए हाफ वेव रेक्टिफायर के बारे में, जैसे इंस्टेंटेनियस आउटपुट करंट, डीसी आउटपुट करंट, आरएमएस आउटपुट करंट, आरएमएस वैल्यू ऑफ एसी कंपोनेंट, रिपुल फैक्टर, इनपुट पावर, एफिशिएंसी, okay, then instantaneous voltage across the diode, average voltage across the diode, peak inverse voltage. These things were discussed in the last class. Next, take the heading 10th point, that is frequency of the output. Okay, frequency of output. This is 10th point. Frequency of output. Okay, the input waveform Vi, this is alpha, this is your Vi. Okay, this is 0, this is pi, this is 2 pi, okay, this is 3 pi, and this is your Va. This is the input waveform, and the output waveform of the half wave rectifier is something like this. Okay, this is pi, this is 0, this is 2 pi, this is 3 pi, this is your alpha. This is the output waveform. Now, the frequency of the input waveform is 2 pi. The frequency of the input waveform is 2 pi. And the frequency of the output waveform is also 2 pi. So, the frequency of output waveform is same as the input waveform. Okay. In case of half wave rectifier, frequency of output is same as frequency of input. So output frequency is same as the input frequency. Okay, this input signal is a pure AC signal. Only one frequency that is present. Okay, that is nothing but omega naught. What is Vi? Vi is your Vm sin alpha. Okay, Vi is your Vm sin alpha. Where alpha is sin omega naught t. Okay, I am taking omega naught t as alpha. Okay, so the frequency of the input signal is omega naught. Omega naught is the frequency of the input signal. It is particularly angular frequency. What is omega naught? Omega naught equal to 2 pi f naught. This f naught is the frequency and this is the angular frequency. Omega naught is the angular frequency. Okay, so the frequency of the output waveform is same as the input frequency. Okay, nothing but f naught. Input frequency is nothing but f naught or omega naught. What is input frequency? Omega naught or f naught. Okay, you can say omega naught as frequency or f naught as frequency. Both are frequency only. Okay, so the output frequency of the half wave rectifier is f naught. Okay, f naught. But this input signal will have only one frequency, that is omega naught, and the output waveform, which is a pulsating DC, will have several harmonics present in the signal. Along with the fundamental frequency omega naught, some other harmonic components will be present. Okay, along with omega naught, some other harmonics will be present. If you obtain the Fourier series of the output waveform, then you will get the frequency that is present in the output signal in the Fourier series will be, it will consist of omega naught Okay, in the Fourier series of the output waveform, you will find frequencies like omega naught, 2 omega naught, 4 omega naught, etc. Okay, these are the frequency will be present. This is called fundamental frequency, and these are even harmonics or integer multiple of fundamental frequency, even integer multiple of fundamental frequency. So harmonics presents in the output waveform. These are the harmonics. Along with the fundamental frequency omega naught, some harmonics are also present, like 2 omega naught, 4 omega naught, 6 omega naught. Okay, if you we know that the output waveform, which is a pulsating DC signal, which is combination of AC and DC, combination of AC plus DC. Okay, these AC components are nothing but these components. These frequencies are nothing but the AC components. Okay, and the DC component is nothing but IDC or BDC. Okay, and these are the AC components present in the output of the half wave rectifier. In case of rectifier, the smallest frequency present in the output of a rectifier, the smallest frequency present in the output of the rectifier is called as ripple frequency. So take the definition of ripple frequency. The smallest frequency present in the output of a rectifier is said to be ripple frequency, and the ripple frequency of your half wave rectifier is nothing but omega naught. So ripple frequency of your half wave rectifier is nothing but omega naught or f naught, which is nothing but same as the input frequency. So ripple frequencies of half wave rectifier is nothing but omega naught or f naught is same as input frequency. So ripple frequency is same as input frequency. Next, take the heading form factor. What is form factor? Form factor is the measure of smoothness in the waveform. Okay, is the measure of smoothness in the waveform. So this will be your 11th point, that is form factor. What is form factor? I am denoting it with capital F. Okay. What is form factor? Form factor is the measure of smoothness in the output waveform. If you calculate the form factor of the output waveform, the formula for form factor is form factor F equals to RMS output voltage by DC output voltage, or RMS output current by DC output current. Take RMS output current by DC output current. By DC output current. Okay, by DC output current, which will be, what is RMS output current? IRMS. And what is DC output current? IDC. Okay. This is the formula for form factor. Form factor will be F will be RMS output current IRMS by IDC. This is for all rectifier. Okay. If we particularly calculate the form factor for the half wave rectifier, what is the RMS value of output current IRMS? It will be IM by 2. And what is IDC? Average or DC output current? It will be IM by pi. IM cancel, it will be pi by 2, which will be 1.557. So the form factor of half wave rectifier is 1.57. This is for your half wave rectifier. Okay. You know the definition of ripple factor. The formula for ripple factor is R is under root of IRMS by IDC whole square minus 1. This was the formula for ripple factor. And what is IRMS by IDC? It is nothing but form factor. So under root of form factor square minus 1. So this is also the formula for ripple factor. Okay, so this is the relation between the ripple factor and form factor. Relation between the ripple factor and form factor. And we know that ideally there should not be any ripple present in the output. Ripple nothing but AC component present in the output. So ideally the ripple factor should be 0. If ripple factor should be ideally 0, then form factor should be ideally 1. So ideally form factor should be 1. Okay. Now in case of half wave rectifier, the form factor is greater than 1. Form factor is greater than 1, 1.57, which is greater than 1. So this indicates that the smoothness in the output waveform is less. This is the output waveform whose form factor is 1.57. So this indicates that there will be variation in the output waveform. Okay, form factor indicates the smoothness in the waveform, and ideally the form factor should be 1. Smaller the form factor, greater will be the smoothness. Okay, the smaller the form factor, the greater will be the smoothness. Here form factor is greater than 1, so smoothness in the output waveform is less. This is all about form factor. Then take the next heading, no load DC output voltage. No load DC output voltage. No load DC output voltage. No load DC output voltage, I am denoting it with VDC NL. What is this VDC NL? It is the DC voltage across the output when no load is present, when load resistance is not connected. You see, this is your half wave rectifier. This is your half wave rectifier. This is your secondary winding. This is the diode, and there will be some resistor connected, that is RL, load. And what is DC VDCNL? It is the DC output voltage. It is the DC output voltage when load resistance is not connected. When load resistance is not connected, or when RL is not present, or I can say when RL is infinite. If no load resistance present or RL becomes infinite, then then the load current will be I will be 0. The current that flow through the load will be 0. So the current I, instantaneous current I will be 0. This current will be 0. So take the definition of what is no load DC output voltage. Take the definition. It is the DC output voltage. It is the DC output voltage of a rectifier. It is the DC output voltage of a rectifier when load resistance is not present. When load resistance is not present, or RL becomes infinite, or the load current becomes 0. When load current becomes 0, this is the DC VDCNL. So this is your VDCNL. This voltage is nothing but VDCNL. This is your input voltage VA. Now this is your V diode DC voltage across the diode. Now this VA is a sinusoidal waveform. VA is Vm sin alpha. What is the voltage across the secondary winding, or what is the average value of the voltage across the secondary winding? It will be 0 because sinusoidal average value is 0. So the voltage across the secondary winding is 0. Okay. So this voltage is, the average voltage is 0. The average value of the voltage is 0. Average voltage is 0. Average voltage across the secondary winding is 0. If you take KVL in this loop, then it will be -0 plus DC voltage across the diode, that is V diode DC, plus DC voltage across the load, that's nothing but VDCNL, equals to 0. This is KVL. Okay. Then what is VDCNL? VDCNL will be minus V diode DC. So this is the formula for VDCNL. VDCNL is nothing but minus V diode DC. And what is this what is V diode DC in case of half power rectifier? In case of half power rectifier, V diode DC will be minus Bm by pi. So minus Bm by pi into minus Bm by pi, it will be plus Bm by pi. So this VDCNL for your half wave rectifier will be Bm by pi. Okay, this is for your half wave rectifier. For a half wave rectifier, no load DC output voltage is Bm by pi. Okay, you can calculate using VDCNL as minus V diode DC. Okay. Next, take full load DC output voltage. Okay, full load DC output voltage. Full load DC output voltage, VDCFL. Okay, what is VDCFL? VDCFL is nothing but the DC output voltage of the rectifier when load resistance is present, or when the load current is non-zero. Okay. Take the definition of VDCFL. It is the DC output voltage. It is the DC output voltage It is the DC output voltage of a rectifier when load is connected. When load is connected, or when the load current I is non-zero. When load current is non-zero, whatever DC voltage you get across the load, that is called as VDCFL. This is what is VDCFL. You can calculate VDCFL as VDCFL equal to IDC into RL. The DC output voltage on load is present, VDC. The DC voltage will be IDC into RL. IDC, this is your IDC. IDC into RL. VDCFL is IDC into RL. Okay. Or you can also calculate VDCFL as VDCFL equal to VDCNL minus IDC into R. Or you can write like this: VDCFL will be equal to VDCNL minus internal DC voltage drop. Internal DC voltage drop. So VDCFL is VDCNL minus internal DC voltage drop. See, when load current will flow, then the secondary winding will have some resistance, that is called as resistance of secondary winding, RSW, and there will be some resistance when diode will be in forward bias, that is RF. Okay, forward resistance of the diode. So when load current will flow, when load current flows, there will be some DC voltage drop across the secondary winding, that is nothing but in the secondary winding resistance, some voltage will drop across this resistance RSW, and also some voltage will drop across the RF, across the diode. So if we subtract VDCNL minus minus internal DC voltage drop, these are nothing but internal voltage drop. Voltage across the diode and voltage across the secondary winding are nothing but together is total internal DC voltage drop. So you can write like, what is VDCNL? It is Vm by pi for half wave rectifier minus what is internal DC voltage drop, the voltage drop across the secondary winding and RF, that is IDC into RF plus RSW. So this is your VDCFL. You can write like that VDCFL will be equal to Vm by pi minus IDC into R. Okay, minus IDC into R, where this R equals to RF plus RSW. R equals to RF plus RSW. So these are the formula for VDCFL. You can use this formula, or you can use this formula, or this formula. VDCFL. Now, the DC output voltage, VDC, this DC voltage, full load DC output voltage will decrease with increase in load current IDC. If IDC will increase, if IDC will increase, then what will happen? This DC output voltage will decrease. So VDCFL decreases with increase in DC output current. Okay, that is, if DC output current increases or DC load current increases, then VDCFL will decrease. Okay, next take the heading regulation factor. What is regulation factor? What is regulation factor? Regulation factor, I'm denoting it with small r. Okay, regulation factor, or it will be ripple factor. Okay, this is only regulation factor, no symbol. What is regulation factor? Regulation factor is the measure of change in the DC output voltage, DC output voltage due to change in the load current or IDC, load current IDC. So take the definition of regulation factor. It is the measure of change in the DC output voltage, due to the change in load current IDC, So it is the measure of change in the DC output voltage due to the change in load current. Means how much voltage will change due to change in this IDC. That measure is called as regulation factor. So the formula for regulation factor is, or you can calculate directly, percentage regulation is nothing but VDC NL minus VDC FL divided by VDC FL into 100. VDC NL minus VDC FL by VDC into 100. If you calculate this percentage regulation for the half wave rectifier, then what is VDC-NL for half wave rectifier? It will be Vm by pi. And what is VDC-FL? It will be Vm by pi minus IDC into R. Okay, divided by IDC into RL. This and this will be cancelled, then it will be IDC into R divided by IDC into RL. IDC cancel, it will be into 100 here. Okay, into 100. So this will be R by RL into 100. So the percentage regulation of your half wave rectifier is R by RL into 100. Okay, what is R? R is RF plus RF, RSW, resistance of secondary winding. If your diode is ideal, then RF will be 0. If secondary winding is ideal, then RSW will be 0. So R will be 0. If R becomes 0, percentage regulation becomes 0%. So ideally percentage regulation should be 0. Means percentage regulation 0 means there should not be any change in the DC output voltage due to change in DC load current. Ideally, if DC current changes, this IDC changes, then there should not be any change in the DC output voltage. Ideally, percentage regulation should be 0. Ideally, percentage regulation should be 0. Should be 0. Next, take the next heading, Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Thevenin's equivalent circuit for half wave rectifier. Thevenin's equivalent circuit for half wave rectifier. Okay. This is Thevenin's equivalent circuit for half wave rectifier. What is the Thevenin's equivalent for your half wave rectifier? You know that for half wave rectifier, this is your half wave rectifier, this is load, this is your VDCFL. Okay, VDCFL. The expression for your half wave rectifier VDCFL is Vm by pi minus IDC into R. Okay, minus IDC into R. Minus IDC into R. What is this? If you compare for a Thevenin's equivalent circuit, if you compare this expression with a Thevenin's equivalent circuit, okay, how a Thevenin's equivalent circuit looks like? Something like this. This is load resistance RL. This is your output voltage V0. This is your RTH, and this is VTH. Okay. This is your I. So you can write like V0 equal to VTH Thevenin's voltage minus I into R. I into R. If you compare this expression with this, then what is VTH? VTH is Vm by pi. So Thevenin's voltage VTH will be Vm by pi. And what is this? This is your RTH. And what is RTH? RTH is nothing but R. So the VTH is Vm by pi and RTH is R. you can write like this: BTH is Vm by pi and RTH is R, where this R is RF plus RSW. R is RF plus RSW. This is the Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Okay, Thevenin's equivalent circuit. This is V naught or nothing but BTCFL. Okay, so this is the Thevenin's equivalent circuit. For your half wave rectifier, you need to remember what is VTH value, that is Vm by pi, and what is RTH value. RTH is R, or R is RF plus RSW. Next, take the heading angle of conduction. Angle of conduction. Angle of conduction. Point. Angle of conduction. Angle of conduction. What is angle of conduction? It is the duration for which diode conducts. It is the duration for which diode conducts or forward biased. It is the duration for which diode conducts or load current flows in a rectifier. So if you see, this is your input waveform Vi. Okay, this is Vi, this is 0, this is pi, this is 2 pi. Okay, and this is your alpha. And this is your output waveform. Okay, this is pi, this is 2 pi, this is 3 pi. This is your output waveform. Now, this is your half wave rectifier. This is RL. This is your instantaneous output current. Now, what is angle of conduction? It is the duration for which the diode conducts, or load current flows. When diode will replace diode with short circuit or with RF, and load current will flows. So what is when diode will conduct, then load current will flows, and whatever for what duration the diode conducts is nothing but angle of conduction. Now, if this diode is ideal, means cut-in voltage 0, then diode will conduct from here only. Okay, from 0 to pi. If your diode is ideal, means cut-in voltage 0, then diode will start conducting from when input voltage is 0. So from here to from 0 to pi. So this is the conduction interval. Diode conducts from this to this interval, 0 to pi, and from pi to 2 pi diode will be off if it is ideal. So the conduction interval is 0 to pi. So angle of conduction is pi radian or 180 degree. So angle of conduction is 180 degree if diode is ideal. If diode is ideal. If diode is ideal. If diode is ideal, your diode will conduct from 0 to 0 degree to 180 degree. This becomes your angle of conduction. Angle of conduction will be from 0 degree to 180 degree, or you can say angle of conduction is 180 degree. So diode conducts for 180 degree. Now if diode is not ideal, means diode have some cutting voltage, some voltage will drop across the diode. If some diode have some cutting voltage, then diode will let this be the cutting voltage of the diode, big gamma. Now up to V gamma, okay, up to V gamma, or diode will be off. Then diode will start conducting like this. Again, when input voltage is below V gamma, then diode will be open circuited. Means when the input voltage exceeds V gamma, then diode will be forward biased or load current flows. If input voltage is less than this cut-in voltage, up to that diode will be off. So if diode have some cut-in voltage, or if diode is not ideal, then your diode will conduct from some theta. Let this be theta. Some theta to 180 degree minus theta. This is 180 degree minus theta. This is theta. If diode is not ideal, means some cut-in voltage, diode has some cut-in voltage V gamma, then your angle of conduction will be, diode will be conduct from theta to 180 degree minus theta. So angle of conduction will be 180 degree minus theta, that is 180 degree minus 2 theta. So angle of diode has some cut-in voltage V gamma, then angle of conduction will be 180 degree minus 2 theta. This becomes, if diode is not ideal, angle of conduction is 180 degree minus 2 theta. If diode is ideal, angle of conduction is 180 degree. Okay. Now what is this theta? What is the value of theta? This is your input waveform. This is alpha. This is input voltage Vi. Okay. Let diode have some cut-in voltage V gamma, and this is theta. This is 180 degree minus theta. 180 degree minus theta. Now, how to calculate theta value? What is the expression for your input voltage VA? My interest is to calculate what is the value of theta. Okay, what is the expression for VA? VA is Vm sin alpha. Now, when alpha is theta, what is VA? VA is nothing but V gamma. So VA is V gamma, Vm sin theta. When alpha is theta, VA is V gamma. When alpha is 180 degree minus theta, VA is V gamma. So how to calculate theta? Theta will be, or you can write like this. You can write sin theta equal to V gamma by Vm. or theta equal to sin inverse V gamma by Vm. This is theta. So when that is not ideal, angle of conduction for your half wave rectifier will be 180 degree minus 2 theta, or theta equal to sin inverse V gamma by Vm. What is V gamma? V gamma is the cut-in voltage of the diode. Now this cut-in voltage for a diode is very small, some 0.2 volt, some up to maybe some 0.6 or 0.7 volt. Since V gamma is very small, theta will be very small. If V gamma is close to almost 0, so theta will be almost 0. If theta is almost 0, then angle of conduction will be almost 180 degree. So effect of V gamma is not there in the angle of conduction. Will have very less impact. If diode has some cut-in voltage V gamma, then the angle of conduction is almost 180 degree, same as to ideal case. You can take the definition of angle of conduction. What is angle of conduction? Take the definition of angle of conduction. It is the duration for which diode conducts or load current flows. It is the duration for which diode conducts or load current flows. Okay, that is what is nothing but your angle of conduction. The last point is transformer utilization factor, TOF. What is transformer utilization factor? Seventeenth point. Transformer utilization factor, TOF. Okay. The formula for TOF is equal to DC output power divided by AC rating of secondary winding of the transformer. Secondary winding, DC output power by AC rating of the secondary winding. This TOF will be helpful in order to calculate the DC output power. Okay, if you want to calculate DC output power, okay, this TOF will be helpful if you know the AC rating of the secondary winding. If you know AC rating of the secondary winding and TOF, then you can calculate DC output power. So TOF will be helpful to calculate the DC output power of a rectifier if AC rating of the secondary winding is known to you. If you know the AC rating of the secondary winding, you can calculate the DC output power by using TOF. Okay. And we need greater DC output power. If you need greater DC output power, then TOF must be greater. What is AC rating of the secondary winding? AC rating of the secondary winding will be, this is your primary winding, the rectifier, this is secondary winding, this is diode, this is load resistance RL. AC rating of the secondary winding is product of the RMS voltage across the secondary winding into RMS current through the secondary winding. Okay, so AC rating of the secondary winding is, you can take the definition of AC rating of the secondary winding. What is AC rating of the secondary winding? AC rating of the secondary winding is the product of RMS voltage across the secondary winding. It is the product of RMS voltage across the secondary winding into it is the product of RMS voltage across the secondary winding into RMS current through the secondary winding. What is RMS voltage across the secondary winding? The voltage across the secondary winding is nothing but VI, which is Vm sin alpha. So what is the RMS value of RMS value will be Vm by root 2. RMS voltage across the secondary winding is Vm by root 2. And what is the RMS current through the secondary winding? What is the RMS value of this current? RMS value of this current IRMS is Im by 2. So RMS current through the secondary winding is Im by 2. So AC rating of the secondary winding is this Vrms into IRMS. If you calculate TOF, particularly I am calculating for half wave rectifier. What is DC output power? DC output power is IDC square into RL divided by Vrms into IRMS. What is IDC? IDC is Im by pi whole square into RL divided by, what is Vrms? It is Vm by root 2 into, what is IRMS? Im by 2. We know that Vm equals to, the formula for Im is Vm by Rf plus RL. So what is Vm? Vm will be Im into Rf plus RL. So you can write like this, it will be Im square by pi square into RL divided by, what is Vm? Vm is Im into Rf plus RL divided by root 2 into Im by 2. So Im square will be cancelled. Okay, Im square will be cancelled. Then it will be 2 root 2 divided by pi square into RL by Rf plus RL. 2 root 2 by pi square into RL by Rf plus RL. Okay, if you calculate this 2 root 2 by pi square will be 0.286 into RL by Rf plus RL. So the TOF, formula for TOF for your half wave rectifier is 0.286 into RL by Rf plus RL. This is the formula for TOF of your half wave rectifier. Now if your diode is ideal, then Rf will be 0 and TOF will be 0.286, and this will be maximum value. So maximum TOF of your half wave rectifier, maximum TOF equal to 0.286. Maximum TOF of half wave rectifier will be 0.286. Take one question regarding half wave rectifier. Okay, take one question. Write down a question. A half wave rectifier uses a 5:1 transformer, a 5:1 transformer, 5:1 transformer, and a diode of internal resistance 10 ohm, and a diode of internal resistance 10 ohm, full stop. If load resistance is 500 ohm, if load resistance is 500 ohm, if load resistance is 500 ohm, and primary voltage is 220 volt RMS, 220 volt RMS, 220 volt RMS, 50 hertz, frequency is 50 hertz, and the primary side voltage is 220 volt RMS, and frequency is 50 hertz. 220 volt RMS, 50 hertz. Then full stop. Then calculate the first point DC load current and voltage. What is DC load current? Calculate first point DC load current and voltage, means DC voltage, DC load current and DC load voltage. Second one, RMS load current, RMS load current, RMS load current. Third one, AC output current, AC output current, AC output current. Fourth one, DC diode voltage and current, DC diode voltage and current, DC diode voltage and current. And the last one, peak inverse voltage and ripple frequency, Okay, these are the questions. DC load current, you need to find out what is the DC load current of the half wave rectifier. Okay, these are the questions. DC load current and voltage. DC load current means IDC, and DC load voltage means VDC FL or VDC, which is nothing but IDC into RL. Let's calculate. And RMS load current means IRMS. AC output current is nothing but IRMS dash. Okay, AC output current means IRMS dash, RMS value of AC component, or it is also called as reading of the AC ammeter. AC output current also called as AC output current, means RMS value of the AC current, AC output current, RMS value of the AC component, IRMS dash, and this is IRMS. RMS output current means RMS load current means IRMS. And DC diode voltage and current. You know what is DC diode voltage means? V diode DC. Okay, V diode DC. And what is DC diode current? DC diode voltage and current. You know, in a half wave rectifier, this is your secondary winding, and the DC diode voltage is nothing but V diode DC. Okay, and DC diode current means the diode current is same as the load current. This is your DC load current, which is same as DC diode current. So DC diode voltage and DC diode current. So DC diode current means same as DC load current, that is IDC, and this is peak inverse voltage and ripple frequency. So let's calculate first. It is given that if half wave rectifier is using a 5:1 transformer, means N1 is 5 and N2 is 1. Okay, N1 is 5 and N2 is 1. 5:1 transformer. Okay, and it is using a diode of internal resistance 10 ohm. So internal resistance of the diode is nothing but RF equal to 10 ohm, and a load resistance of 500 ohm. Load resistance of 500 ohm. The input signal whose RMS value is 220 volt RMS, and its frequency is 50 Hz. Okay. The first one, it is asked to calculate the DC load current. What is DC load current? IDC. For half wave rectifier, okay, you need to calculate what is IDC. Now, in a transformer, we know that V1 by V2 equals to N1 by N2. What is V1? V1 is nothing but voltage across the primary side, that is 220 volt. What is V2? Is unknown. What is N1? 5 by 1. So V2 equals to 44 volt. What is this 44 volt? It is the RMS voltage. RMS voltage across the secondary winding is 44 volt. What is actually this B2 is nothing but RMS value of BA. RMS value of BA. What is BA? BA is Bm sin alpha. So what is the RMS value? Bm by root 2 equal to 44 volt. So what is Bm? Bm is 44 into root 2, which will be 62.2 volt. 62.2 volt. So Bm is 62.2 volt. This V2 is the RMS voltage across the secondary winding. What is voltage across the secondary winding? Is Bm sin alpha. And what is the RMS value of Bm sin alpha? Bm by root 2. So Bm by root 2 is 44 volt. So Bm is 44 into root 2, that is 62.2 volt, which is 62.2 volt. So we obtained Bm. Now it is asked to calculate what is DC load current. Okay, what is DC load current? Is nothing but IDC. Okay, IDC for half wave rectifier is Im by pi. What is Im? Im is Bm by RF plus RL. What is Bm? Bm is 62.2 by RF is 10, RL is 500. So 500 plus 10, that is 510. This will be 122 milliampere. 122 milliampere. So if you substitute Im value, it will be 122 milliampere by pi, which will be 38.8 milliampere. 38.8 milliampere. So 122 milliampere by pi equal to 38.8 milliampere. So IDC is 38.8 milliampere. And also you need to calculate DC load voltage. What is DC load voltage? Is nothing but VDC or VDCFL. Is IDC into RL. DC load voltage. What is IDC? IDC is 38.8 8 milliampere into RL. RL is 500. Okay. If you calculate, this will be 19.4 volt. 19.4 volt. So your VDC or VDCFL. VDC is nothing but DC load voltage is same as VDC is same as VDCFL, which will be 19.4 volt. Next, the next question is calculate the RMS load current. RMS load current. What is RMS load current? Second one, RMS load current. What is RMS load current? IRMS. RMS value of this load current. That is nothing but IRMS. What is IRMS? It is IM by 2 for your half wave rectifier. IRMS is IM by 2. What is IM? IM was 122 milliampere by 2, that is nothing but 61 milliampere. So RMS load current is 61 milliampere. Then AC output current. AC output current. Third one is your AC output current. AC output current is nothing but your IRMS dash. What is IRMS dash? IRMS dash equal to, the formula is IRMS square minus IDC square under root. What is IRMS square? That is nothing but 61 milliampere square minus what is IDC? IDC was 38.8 milliampere. 38.8 milliampere square under root, which will be 46.9 milliampere. 46.9 milliampere. So IRMS dash will be 46.9 milliampere. And the fourth point is DC diode voltage. What is DC diode voltage? DC diode voltage is nothing but V diode DC. What is V diode DC? It is minus Bm by pi. What is Bm? 62.2 by pi, which will be minus 19.7 volt. Minus 19.7 volt. The DC voltage across the diode is minus 19.7 volt. And the next thing is DC diode current. What is DC diode current? Is same as IDC. Okay, because diode and RL are connected in series, so whatever current flows through the diode, the same current will flow through RL. So the DC current through the diode is nothing but IDC. So what is IDC? Or diode current through the DC current through the diode is IDC is nothing but 38.8 milliampere. Then fifth point, peak inverse voltage. What is peak inverse voltage for your half wave rectifier? It is Vm. And what is Vm? Vm is 62.2 volt. And last one is ripple frequency. What is ripple frequency? Ripple frequency is nothing but the smallest frequency present in the output waveform. For half wave rectifier, the frequencies that are present in the output are omega naught, 2 omega naught, 4 omega naught, 6 omega naught, so on. So the smallest frequency is omega naught. That is nothing but ripple frequency. Omega naught or F naught. Omega naught or F naught. Okay. What is F naught? F naught is nothing but input frequency, input signal frequency. What is the input signal frequency? Is 50 Hz. this frequency, the voltage at the frequency at the primary side is same as the frequency across the secondary winding. So here is the frequency of the signal is 50 Hz. Here also frequency of the input signal is 50 Hz. So the ripple frequency is 50 Hz. In the next class, we'll be discussing full wave rectifier, in which we'll be discussing two types of full wave rectifier. One is center tapped full wave rectifier, and next one will be bridge rectifier. So let's stop the class. Thank you.